Hi there everyone. Right, in today's video, I'm going to eventually get round to reseeding my grass path that goes through the garden. I was going to refer to it as a lawn, but it really is just quite a narrow grass strip, and it is in terrible condition. So over the years, I have done patch repairs on my grass. I've never reseeded to this extent. So to anyone who's visiting my garden for the first time, a very warm welcome. And I'll just give you some background detail into why the grass is in such poor condition. So last November, my husband and I started building a greenhouse, which is at the bottom of the garden. And the only way to that greenhouse is via this grass path. So for weeks we had wheelbarrows full of sand, cement, paving stones, plus our feet trampling up and down in all weathers. And then in December, when the trees went dormant, we had some tree surgeons, 3 tree surgeons out, and they were doing some work on the tree, so they trampled all over it. So here we are. It is the 17th of February. I think I've got everything ready. I've watched numerous YouTubes on how to reseed your lawn. I've read up on it. So I've got to stop procrastinating and just do it now. So I'm going to be probably learning as I go, and I'll show you every step of the way, and then I'll give you regular updates as well. So you will be seeing the grass hopefully grow at the same rate I will. Right, so I'm going to get started. So I'll give you a tour down the garden. So the patchiness actually starts right at the path where we enter the lawn to walk down the garden to the greenhouse. And it's never stopped raining for weeks and weeks, so hence this sort of sea of mud. And it can't be helped, you can't levitate over the top of the grass to build the greenhouse. This area over here where I've left my garden chairs over winter, that's much worse than I was expecting. Well, I hadn't even thought about it really. So it's really bad condition. My thinking is that I'm going to reseed the sort of, I don't know, 3/4 of the width of this grass all the way down. And then when I do come out in the garden, I'm just going to walk down the very edges, and I'll be able to get my wheelbarrow down the very edges as well. So you see, I can step on this grass, and I'm not worried about this grass because it isn't completely bare until you get to sort of the building work area down here, and then I can sort of jump across to there. So I've bought the grass seed, and I've been researching how to reseed the lawn. So we're still sort of, well, quite patchy all the way down here, and it's only a very narrow ribbon of grass anyway. But then when we get right outside the greenhouse, there's just a big dead area here, and it's very compacted. And then once you get past the greenhouse, it's still not brilliant, but yeah, I'm not worried about this kind of patchiness because that will just grow back. Right, so I'm going to get my fork, which apparently is the first thing I do, and I need to aerate this lawn. I use that term very loosely. Right, so in my haste to get this job done and the grass grown, I've made my first mistake. So when I remember what the instructions said, it said cut the grass first, and I was thinking, well, is it really worth it? Because it's so patchy, the grass. But I suppose, you know, when you look at the length of this grass down the edges, if I have to leave that for a few weeks now, that's going to be sort of knee high. You know, that's quite a good length. And over there's a patch of green. So I'm going to go and get the lawnmower out and give the grass a cut, and then get back to aerating it. Right, so now you have to rake it with a spring-loaded rake, and you sort of just lightly pull it across the top of the soil, or the mud in my case. And it's pulling out sort of bits of dead moss and things like that, just sweep them to one side. And what you do is you rake it in one direction, and then you rake it crosswise, and then I'm going to scatter the seed onto this area, and the seed will fall into each little groove, and then I'm going to sprinkle the compost over the top of it. Oh crumbs, it's so slippy. And you might think, why didn't you just wait until you had a dry day? But I can't wait until I've got a dry day, because it's never stopped raining for a couple of weeks now, and this is the last free day I've got this week. So, I mean, grass grows anywhere. It certainly grows in my borders. So I'm fully confident that this is going to work. Move the camera down the garden a bit. It's really quite exciting, this. This is going to be fun for the next, month and a half or something, until the grass starts to grow. It'll be like getting down to my greenhouse. It'll be like jumping across stepping stones. Just going to try and flatten it off a bit there. Get rid of that. go back over now and cross hatch it. So I've cross hatched it. It just looks like a big sea of mud now, doesn't it? Right, and now I'm just going to go around and get rid of all of this that I've sort of scarified out, so moss and everything. You can see, I'll show you, I haven't touched these main borders yet because it's still very early in the year and I don't want to disturb anything nesting in there or feeding off the remains of the seed heads. So probably about another month and I'll clear all that border up. Right, so I'll go around now and clear up all of this so that I have a nice clean base to spread my seed onto. Right, so I'll give you a walkthrough now of the aerated, scarified and cross-hatched, I think that's the term they use for it, grass. I'm going to stop calling it a lawn because it's insulting to people who have beautiful lawns. Right. And just a note on the borders, a subscriber of mine said, oh, she'd really just recently watched one of my summer videos and how lovely it was to see the garden blooming. And I think I will do that, have a look back and see what this garden's like in the summer, because it's very hard to imagine on a cold February day just how beautiful your garden can be. And it's a nice reminder. So I would urge you, even if you haven't got a YouTube channel, just take a little bit footage of your garden every month, and then at the end of the year, or when you most need it, you can just have a look back and remind yourself how beautiful your garden is. And all the way through here and down to the drive. So I'm going to be walking for the next month and a half, 2 months on the bits of grass either side. And I'll have to be very careful that I don't make the edges go very sparse and patchy. Right, now for the seed. Right, so this is what I've bought. Love Your Lawn grass seed and lawn fertilizer. So it says shake the box well. So you mix up your fertilizer and your seed, and it says that it's 120 grams to 1 square meter of lawn. So I can sort of visualize 100 grams. So I'm just going to put some seed in my hand and scatter. Let's have a look. So that's what it looks like. The yellow stuff is the grass seed and the brown stuff is the fertilizer. And this lawn seed I've read is for, it's just very practical. It'll go in shade, it'll go in sun. It's meant for high traffic areas. So right now what I need to do is I need to sprinkle compost over the top of the seed to to stop the birds from eating it, I think. I think that's the only reason you do it. I don't know. So I've got to walk around the garden sprinkling with one hand and holding the compost in another. So I'm thinking I'll quarter fill this. I'll be able to hold that and then sprinkle like that. I think I'll do it that way. So I'll break the compost up. It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes you open a bag of compost and it's really moist, and other times it's really dry. Would have been better for me this time if it had been dry, but right, so I'll just show you what I'm going to do and then I can speed the film up. So yes, I can hold that easily enough. So apparently you sprinkle, it's a bit lumpy this, but anyway it'll do. You just sprinkle the compost over the top of the seed. Not too thick. Just so that it's covered. Yeah, so this is going to take a while. At least when I've got this new compost here, it will sort of clearly demarcate where the new seed is, so we can keep our feet off it. It's going to be a bit inconvenient for the next few weeks, but needs must. Right, so this is what I'm going to do now. So I'll speed the film up. Right, I don't know whether you can see, it's starting to rain quite heavily now, but in my thinking that can only do the seed good because it's got to be wet anyway. So I've sprinkled it onto wet soil, covering it with very moist compost, and then it's going to rain all over it. I will be stomping it down. That's the next thing I'll show you. My husband's made me a very handy little tool to stomp this seed down. Again, this is back-breaking work. I'm going to have to go and buy some more compost. I've underestimated the area that I'm reseeding. Right, I'm actually going to stop filming now because it's raining so heavily and I'm worried about the camera, about my phone and all the sort of mic and everything. So I'm going to stop filming and I'll come back out and I'm going to carry on working in the rain, and I'll come back and I'll do a quick video at the end and show you what it looks like. Right, so it stopped raining for a little while, so I came back out, and I definitely need more compost, but at least I've got most of it covered. So I'll just show you what the next step is. My husband has made me this very handy stomper, because what you need to do now is, apparently, is you press down gently like that, and that makes sure that all the seeds have contact with a piece of soil. So I'm just going to go around and gently stomp this down, and my thinking is that this will show up any areas of seed that aren't covered in fresh compost, and then I can go over the top of them. So you can clearly see the bit that I've stomped down there. I shouldn't say the word stomped, pressed lightly. So that's it, I'm all done. What I've decided to do is I've got the hose out to its full extent, so it goes right the way down the garden. And then I'm just going to keep it out, because every day, apparently, I need to be making sure that the seed is kept moist. So if it rains, that's fine, I'll not water it then, but if it doesn't rain, then I'll be on it. I'll be giving it a nice shower. So I will keep you updated every time I sort of do a little video on that. I'll probably tag onto the end a bit of footage showing you how the grass is coming along. So fingers crossed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.